The following is a conversation between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am. The date is February 13th, 2021, and the subject is the emotional aspect of the heart chakra in the sign of Aquarius. Me. Everything turns into a sea around me. I look ahead and see its waves, the coast, and without ceasing to marvel at its beauty, I go step by step closer to the foam of the waves that break against the sands gently. Like caressing the earth, I put my feet in the water, feeling the freshness, and I don't stop. I move forward, always looking at the horizon and the sky, where both merge, as if I were walking in a dream. The fish begin to surround me as I dive deeper, each step deeper, until the waves cover my face and I no longer stand, because the corals have finished, and in front of me the deep ocean opens. I can feel how I don't need to breathe, even though it sounds strange at first, and yet I move downward, moving away from the surface without hardly any movement. The pressure of the water embraces me. I feel contained, and at the same time expanded. The sensation produces mixed emotions in me, since it seems that nothing exists in my environment, and yet I can feel everything holding me back. I can feel that everything is a dream, that what surrounds me could be space itself, the universe, where I could not distinguish between pressure and freedom. The ocean grows darker and darker, and the few glimpses I see of light breaking through the water resemble a starry sky that I can touch and feel as part of me. In an instant I perceive that I myself became water, and that I flow with its waves in the depth. Everything in the distance looks blurry, as in a dream at night. I feel that everything is part of me just as I am part of the whole, and that in my soft spiral movement, in my dance, everything dances around me. Shoals of fish surround me. They become me, and I feel in my organs the warm vibration of the songs of the whales in the distance. In an incomparable dance, all kinds of creatures appear out of nowhere. Jellyfish fill space like stars, shining like rainbows as they reflect the soft rays of the sun that reach us. Squids and octopuses observe me and design beautiful strokes with their inks, writing poetry about the waters. Me, a huge lone shark, makes way for groups of sharks that fill the non-existent ground, traveling determinedly like an army, while with unparalleled grace, herds of dolphins push them away to take care of my safety. They play with the turtles that pass by, accompanied by the dance of the manta rays that decorate the surface. The hundreds of colors in the fish that appear announce the proximity of coral reefs. The ocean allows me to feel everything. When I was on the surface, I felt separate from things, from individuals, from objects. But now, each of those who make a movement, I can feel it. Each of my movements are felt by others. The waves, the pressure, make me part of everything, being one with everything. It seems that I can feel the beat of each heart of each creature in unison with my own, as if we were one, and everything existed for us. The waters help me feel that I am part of the same body. It makes me feel. I am. Empathy. It comes from the concept suffer, from the Greek pathos, meaning feeling, illness, ailment, or condition, referring to one who shares being within the same sensation, effect, reaction, pressure as others or the other. Being the fact that its etymology speaks from a negative place, having empathy was being able to put yourself in the other's place, feel what the other feels, and from there be able to act, to help, understand, collaborate, organically. The circulatory system is an empathic system by nature, since by pulses it determines where there is a need and where there is a lack of blood, and pulses taking it there, irrigating the empty spaces. The heart, then, is the organ that connects with the empathy of each part of the body, seeking to solve without judgment, expanding in all directions, connecting every corner, feeling each cell as part of itself. Blood is like the internal ocean, and its proteins, fats, blood cells, and hormones are like the beings that live in it. Me, like fish, whales, dolphins, sharks, octopuses, all the creatures that navigate their waters, contained by their plasma. I am. Empathy is the ability of nature to encompass, to become a part, to be one with the rest in its process of growth and development. The being that manages to stop being an individual, to become the environment that sustains individuals, can understand them all, unite them, feel them, and prepare to live with them and for them. Just as the human body is empathic through the nervous and circulatory systems, a human is empathic through the mind and emotion. Me. In other words, a human is the subjective development of the objective and organic evolution of the biological body. I am. That's right. While the nervous system seeks to receive all possible data without passing judgment or omitting any information, the human mind has been the evolutionary development of this system to create an open mind capable of receiving data, sharing it, reading it, and thus becoming intelligent. In the same way that the circulatory system feels the pulses of the cells and distributes its nutrients where they are most needed, a human developed a fine sense of empathy, of emotion, with the aim of improving the interaction of communities, of finding balance between the parts. It is an innate attribute of biology, developed by human culture at its best. It is an attribute that lives inside, and that is necessary to wake up in the most difficult moment of all. Me. Which one? I am. The last month of winter. During the spring you have sown, in the summer you have reaped and celebrated. In autumn you will make the reserves, so that in winter you can survive. But these reserves are running out, and the last weeks of winter are the most difficult, since food shortages involves distributing equitably, being empathetic, fair. Thus, for the Northern Hemisphere, this time prior to starting the cycle again, to take the necessary energy to restart the will of work, to work. Families gathered to share, tell stories, teach children what is to come. And there at the top of the sky, the sun was in front of this constellation, which was related to the Greek history of Aphrodite and her son Eros, who were saved by fish from the Euphrates River before the attack of the monster Typhoon. In gratitude, the gods put these fish in the skies. The idea of fish comes from a long time ago and referred to the two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates, as well as the Nile and its tributary to Lake El Karun. Two river flows that are connected by a fine cord of water, the only source of food during the winter dry season, fish. In this way, the beauty of the fish, the flow of their life, is related to beauty and love, to delivery as a divine gift from the gods. Me. This is how Pisces was born, the two fish. I am the most expansive of the water signs. It is part of the cusp of the trinity of this element. Pisces is the spiritual ocean that contains all the waters. So we continue with the lakes and rivers of Cancer in the aquatic soul, to culminate in the ponds and wetlands of mud that represents the body of water called Scorpio. Me. Pisces is, well, that ocean in which we have submerged, where all things are connected. I am. And therefore, from the emotional vision of the heart, Pisces is the divine ocean of infinite and eternal love for all things. In the Aquarian mental principle, the cosmic ocean is an idea, it is the mind, which expands in ideas freely. However, when Aquarius connects all the points in a perfect and transforming network, the emotion of this spiritual being is awakened, which transcends its energetic level, now constituting empathy for the connection, where ideas are not only projected, but also in turn feel. Pisces is the divine aspect that falls in love with his creation. Aquarius idealizes what is created, being the dreamer, while Pisces will enjoy the dream, live the sensations, fall in love with what they were able to project, marvel at the harmonic beauty that Libra has designed. They will not stop to analyze what they created, but to feel what exists. She will not start listening, learning, inquiring like Geminis do, but she will close her eyes and dance, feeling everything with a huge smile. He will feel the flow of things on his skin and join them in his heartbeat. Pisces is unconditional love, which he does not understand dualities, since all things inhabit him. Me, this is why Pisces is so scattered. I am, because an ocean does not have an axis point, it does not have a focus, and it expands flowing in all directions. It contains the shark and the dolphin, the fish and the octopus, the bright, subtle and warm waves, and the cold and hard abyssal bottom. It does not issue judgment because it is recognized as all things. It has no condition because it has no limits in what it feels. Thus, he loses himself in his own dream, in his own feeling. The flow in every direction generates a chaotic soul and mind, without order, open to anything, containing the darkest monsters and the subtlest of beauties. Pisces is the archetype that defines divine transcendence, God himself, since it is the last sign of the entire stellar initiation path. It is the one that summarizes the freedom of the soul, of the mind, of the body, who recognizes that there are no limits and that all we are is unity. Me, how do I integrate this divine aspect into myself? I am. It already lives in you. She is there in your cells. Your body acts like Pisces every day, in that, in a chaotic way, it puts itself at the unconditional service of a greater good that is to allow your existence. To awaken this attribute in you, observe your body, how it nourishes both the intestines and your brain, how it takes care of keeping you being alive without judging any of its parts. But you must be careful not to lose yourself in that same love. Me, why? I am, because love is eternal and matter has limits. And Pisces does not understand the limits. They see them as hatred, injustice, pain, even if they are necessary for your life. The Piscean aspect in you will try to deny them, to want to get rid of them, to feed their dreams above the reality, and lose their axis of love, becoming a constant escape from irresponsibility. Me. Yes, I understand this. It is also a sign that is very reminiscent of spiritual service, and when we awaken this aspect in us, we usually fall into the Piscean dream, into the utopian, idyllic, wonderful, magical fairy tale, without recognizing that the physical world has other rules, and that these Piscean attributes are actually an ability to help transform, improve those systems with greater freedom, activating all their infinite potentials. But even so, we remain in pain, anguish, martyrdom. I am. We come from 2400 years of the age of Pisces, where these concepts have marked the beginning of many wars, since the imposing of ideals on others is an eternal fight of dreams that are unrealizable. You must dare to dream, but awake in awareness, not in the endless struggle of unconsciousness. Me, what is it like to daydream from consciousness? I am. It is looking at life with the magic that lies in it, understanding the beauty in each of the things, no matter how ugly it may be, recognizing that the limited and negative are nothing more than guides and tools that I am still learning to use. Seek solutions to conflicts with your infinite love and imagination. Do not close yourself off to any option, and yet try not to judge the limits that are presented to you, because they are not impediments, but challenges. Me. Difficult task for a Piscean mind and heart. I am. To find the axis of Pisces, you must remember that the two fish speak of two flows, one negative and one positive, and both speak of the constant circuit of energy. Beyond the fact that the ocean does not have an axis, fish use magnetism and currents to guide themselves and not get lost. So, as a suggested homework, think of the most wonderful utopia you can imagine, where everything that exists lives in harmony, and write the laws for this utopia. What regulations and limits would you put from love? Me. Love has no limits. How do I do it? I am. Perhaps the limit of that love is a containing hug. Me. I understand. Those are the limits that feed the heart and revitalize the imagination. I am. Fall in love with nothing, and you will be able to contain the ocean within you.